Morning Hardwood, episode 41. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Thank you for listening on rcrradio.com. I'm Britt. That's Jerry. But Jerry, last night, we didn't need a basketball. We needed a cardiologist because that man had a stroke, ladies and gentlemen. That man is Todd. To my left, Todd.
Gentlemen?
He had a good night last night. We played basketball, us three. More than us three, but we played a full court game. Actually, the team that I was on, we were playing against these two jokers, and we were up at one point 9-0, and we said, all right, so mercy rule will be 10 once we hit 10. Todd comes down and scores literally 12 straight points, and it was then 14-12, and we actually had a game. Todd was like, and we said it, we were like, there's no offense on that team because Britt couldn't make it up the court past half court. So Britt was just chilling about half court because he's like, now I don't have to run too far for defense, but then I'll be back here in case I need to be offense. But so Todd just took over the game, and you hit like 3 straight threes.
Well, at one point I just looked at the court and I saw one teammate just couldn't make contact with the backboard, like not the rim, like the backboard.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I can't pass to him. Britt was nowhere to be found to be passed to because he was behind me, and then the other kid was guarded by 3 people. So I was like, I might as well do something here.
An incredible feat of backyard basketball if I've ever seen one.
It was, but I was glad. I mean, we at least won both games.
Yeah.
Well, guys, a lot has gone down in the NBA season. We're going to bring you the news on the latest games this past week. We're going to talk about the standings as always, and then we're going to get into the 5-court press on the second half of the show. But we wanted to start somewhere really special because what we saw was really special. So let me give you the call from the latest, our Saturday night's game between Oklahoma City and the Golden State Warriors.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining. The brilliant shooting of Steph Curry continues.
Did you guys see it live?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
That was
Definitely.
one thing that, like, my girlfriend and I, we had plans pretty much. We went to a wedding on Friday. Saturday, I was like, listen, I really want to just watch this game, so let's make sure we get home at about 8:30. I want to see the whole game. And we did. We watched it start to finish, and damn it, I was so glad that I hit that game. Like, of any game that I could have seen this year, that was it, and I am so happy that I had saved my Saturday night to watch the whole thing.
I was at a bar, and like in Jacksonville, nobody cares about the NBA. Everybody was locked in on that game.
Yeah.
Like I got there with like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Like during that time, and then the overtime, like nobody had a rooting interest in the game, but like the whole bar was kind of. They were definitely
so
into
exciting.
it for sure.
Who can not be excited at that?
But I mean,
game?
in Jacksonville, Florida, that is pretty unusual for an a regular season NBA basketball game. That thing was special.
Which shows kind of off. Charles Barkley said some comments about how the NBA has been kind of lackluster this year because we haven't had much competition. He's right. Competition draws attention. Like, it's fun to watch teams battle back and forth, and that was an absolute epic duel back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get any better with Kevin Durant. He kept playing lights out, and then honestly, maybe the best player right now in the NBA. I'm not going to go way far beyond that, like maybe because we still do have some great players in the NBA, but maybe right now the best player in the NBA, Steph Curry, just playing lights out.
Ridiculous, dude. Nobody is even bringing up the point. Like, he pulled up from 38 feet with 6 seconds on the clock on a tie game with a timeout.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody else on the planet that has that authority.
Oh, he was zoned in, though. Zoned. I mean, he hit, that day, he had 12 for 16 threes.
Yeah.
Like, he was zoned in. He knew he can hit anything he was shot. And, I was happy because
think about how bad of a shot that is.
Oh, ridiculous.
38 feet with a timeout and 6 seconds left
Usually
on the
you
clock.
throw up right
game
there.
tied.
You're like, we just threw away our winning potential. But, I mean, with the way Steph was playing,
And
it made me happy because Oscar Robinson's, we'll get into that later, but his little comments after that, I tweeted out, I texted out everything. I was like, eat your fucking words, Oscar Robinson. Like, eat your words. How are you going to say that? Defend that, man, when he shoots from 30-plus feet. Defend that, you shithead.
Dude, that thing. The craziest part about the whole thing is that when he pulled up from 38 feet in that situation, nobody that was watching that game was like, what are you doing? Like everybody was like, "Oh, that's probably going in."
Yeah.
And the defender was pissed. The defender, oh crap, I missed him.
Yeah.
Like he steps back for hesitation.
No, he was
and
backpedaling still. He was backpedaling.
But
It's
you
not
watched
like
him
he
right
wasn't
as soon
trying
as
to-
he
You
pulled
could've-
up for the shot. The defender
Sure.
had the oh shit, he's
Yeah.
shooting.
You could see the OKC bench. The OKC bench was like telling the guy to get up on him.
Yeah.
Like at half court. Like that's craziness, dude. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it was basically like Curry. Like you could almost see in his head, dude, he was like, this is good enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'm far enough. I don't really need to
Like
get
I
any
see the
further.
30-foot line up there. I'm fine.
He's like, I'm cool.
Oh, is that Mike Breen calling the game? That's the line I need to shoot it from.
Yeah.
Thing was 38 feet and change,
Jeez.
dude.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm wearing my OKC shirt, and that's because the odds went to 15-1. So I got in on that.
You
Oh,
got
you
in on
better.
more.
I got in.
So you got in at
That's good. I
7,
like
and you
that.
got in.
I
at
got
15?
in at 15-1. I was gonna get in at 12-1, but I'm picking OKC to win it all.
Didn't you get in earlier too? Like
I
7 or
wanted
8?
to. It was 12-1. I held off. I kept thinking, I'm like, let me see what happens after this game, and sure enough, the odds dropped.
Right now, if you're a basketball bettor, you bet and you're not betting for Golden State, you bet right now because everybody's odds went up a little bit because Golden State's miraculous performance and everybody else kind of.
I like
shit.
Cleveland. I like Cleveland's odds still a lot.
I still do too.
But basically, what that game showed me is OKC. If they make it past the Spurs, that'll be a hell of a series.
Hell of a series.
Especially with both them boys locked in, Durant and Westbrook, because those guys are gonna beat Golden State.
Is that
2
what that
games.
game showed you? You got that? That's what you got out of the game?
I got it out of the vibe because I actually didn't watch that game. I only saw the highlights. But the game, I also want to bring up another game, but we'll stay on this subject as well. But what I watched from the game was OKC had control of the game the majority of the game.
It was
And
back
from what I can
forth.
look
It was
from
back
the
and forth.
box score, it's
You
like
know what-
OKC
well,
had
you know
a
what-
steady control.
You know
of
why
the
they
game.
had they not control, but why they were in the game was Klay Thompson was 0 for 6 before finally hitting a 3. He was just playing shit ball. He was
Yeah,
not
but Curry
hitting
made
anything.
up for him.
And then
I mean,
Draymond
Curry
Green
hit 12.
Yeah, but then Draymond Green though
Had like 2 points or
he had like
something
2
like that.
points the entire game, but he actually had an episode in the locker room, which would have been the big story if Steph Curry wouldn't have hit that shot. Reporters could hear him from down the hall, hear Draymond Green screaming, and they hear him just swearing. And they kind of posted it like, I've read what he said, and it was like, F you guys, F everybody. You want to sit me down, sit me the F down. Like, you don't want, and he's screaming at the team. And it was like completely wiped off the floor because they won. And if they wouldn't have won, you better believe that would have been a news story. That is, this team is being broken up by Draymond Green because he was pissed. And actually, they asked Steph after the game, after that epic thing, they said, well, what happened with Draymond Green? He said, well, sometimes players get passionate. And he was upset. And he was upset because in the first half, he had no touch. He had like 2 touches. He only had 1 point. He had like 6 rebounds and 2 assists. So he was pissed he was not involved in the game. And he went and he showed it in the locker room. And it was like within earshot enough to where then all of a sudden they actually had somebody from the locker room come out and push all the reporters away because everyone's just taping Draymond Green just going nuts on the team.
I heard J.A. Donde talking about his relationship with Steve Kerr, and he curses out Steve Kerr, like on the bench.
Does he?
Yeah, like
Draymond does?
yeah,
Wow.
like it would be like Draymond would be like, give me the fucking ball, and or something like that, and Kerr will turn right back to him as like, fucking get open, or like it's like a normal it's a normal. That's the relationship. Like Kerr lets him get away with that, and Kerr cusses him out, and like they just have that relationship. I'm not saying winning cures everything.
Oh, it cures
So
everything.
those things can happen when you're winning 67, 66 games and NBA championships, and could win 70 plus games this year. There's really not much that can break up that locker room.
True that.
Well, I can tell you that this podcaster is absolutely shocked that there's an angry black guy in the NBA. Like, I'm surprised that I'm hearing.
I know. I
this
thought
out
it
of
was only
Trey.
Boogie. What am I crazy?
Yeah. And speaking of Boogie,
Dude, have you
Fuck
seen
that man, dude. I hope that man
that's
gets his
so
legs
cheap.
cut off.
Pulling back the fist like that.
No, he's such a piece of shit, man. Him and Rondo, they deserve to honestly, I'd like to see them get attached to, his ass to his mouth. And then that's the way they have to live as centipede for the remainder of their fucking worthless piece of shit lives.
Well, both of them could go to Dallas and they could dress up as Maverick. Like one of them. One of them's the legs, the other one's the horse
exactly.
head.
Just show Draymond's, or not Draymond's, show Boogie's fucking mouth to Rondo's asshole and just make them live the remainder of their life like that. Because that's what they are. They're pieces of shit, and they deserve to be like that for the remainder of their life.
Well, I kind of wanted to go, but I don't know how to segue out of that.
I don't know how we segued into that. You just got me ranting about those two players.
Well, let me go back the night before, because the night before, which was last Friday night, was Toronto-Cleveland. And LeBron went up north, but the shot came up south. That game I actually watched on my phone, and I was able to watch it in the bar and be an absolutely horrible dinner guest, because the conversation was going to the point of like, hey, there's 3 minutes left in this game. Let me watch the end of this on my phone. Thank God. What do you think, Jerry?
About that last shot was just,
or just the game in general. Because Toronto's only 3.5 games back now.
They're not playing with urgency. I don't know what's
2.5.
I honestly, I don't know exactly what's going on in Cleveland. Obviously, there's a disconnect.
Shit?
I know who really does give a shit.
Seriously, we're talking about a regular
East.
season Eastern Conference game from a week and a half ago.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing: is that they need to get
4 days
themselves. They need to get themselves in the same mindset.
Half a week.
Because that team right now, I think, like they have one of the most talented teams in the NBA. But I think Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't think they need to do anything.
No, I think they need to, before they get in, they need to unify. Because right now there's chatter of Kevin Love's not happy. There's chatter that Kyrie's not happy.
But winning playoff series will unify the team.
Hopefully.
I have no worries about Cleveland making it.
I don't have any worries
zero.
of making them to the finals. I just worry about once you get to that finals, are you going to be able to beat
Yeah,
Golden
but
State?
that unifies the team. Winning 3 straight series in the playoffs, that
True.
will unify the team. Everybody just needs to stay healthy, and LeBron needs to be healthy and rested, and they'll be there. They're lucky they play in the East.
Yeah, I'm happy.
They
I'm
really
happy
are.
I mean, Raptors fans, I apologize, but I know you're 2.5 games out, and I don't care if you take the 1 seed. Like, that means nothing. Like, LeBron, Cleveland as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seed is winning the East. No
True.
questions about it.
No
So-
questions.
Yeah, they shouldn't be worried about the seeding.
I don't think they'll even worry about honestly going
And they're gonna
into
get the 1
a
seed.
series of more than 5 games of anybody in the East, to be honest.
Somebody will take them to 6.
Toronto would be the only team, or possibly Boston could.
or Miami could take them to 6.
I like that earlier in the
Miami,
show. We actually
the
called
Joe
it
Johnson sign.
Joe Johnson's shithead. He's a shithead.
I almost texted you because I was like for sure that he was signing with Cleveland.
I thought so,
why
too.
wouldn't he sign?
Why
it?
wouldn't- I
And
don't
I know
get it
you
either.
hate Joe Johnson.
I just hate him because he was so damn talented, and it's like he's lazy. I've heard he's lazy as fuck, and that pisses me off. Like, lazy players just piss me off.
His nickname's ISO Joe. He's not into running plays.
He's got a sweet stroke though, man.
He does.
If that's
He's
his
a very
role-
talented dude.
If that's his role, he's pretty good at it.
But now, what is he gonna do in Miami? Him and Dwayne Wade are gonna be fine together.
He can play when Dwayne Wade's not playing, and Dwayne Wade can only play like 22.
I think I already put out
24
my
minutes.
statistics. Dwayne Wade on the court is garbage. When he's on the court, he ruins that team. He's absolutely a team ruiner. He's negative like 76 when he's on the court, and when anybody else is on the court, they're plus.
Yeah, again, like to me, this whole like conversation kind of goes back to what Charles Barkley said. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, nobody in the East is worth watching. Period. Other than Cleveland.
Well,
They're
I
not.
disagree. I like watching Boston. I like watching Toronto.
I'm not saying that they're not fun teams to watch. I mean, the Pacers are a fun team to watch, and they got some star talent. But I mean, like as far as winning a championship, there's legitimately
no chance for
no
anybody.
chance
No,
for
I agree.
anybody in the East to come out of the East
Besides Cleveland.
besides Cleveland.
And you told us the whole rant about Charles Barkley, and another bad segue, but
That's what we're known here.
Yeah, he said, there's a lot of bad basketball out there, and I was watching some of that last night. I got into the league pass mode. I was watching the end of the Knicks Portland game, and I just thought to myself, like, why doesn't every player want to go play in New York?
Dude.
Because they're down 20. And I'm watching the last 2 minutes of the game, and these fans are going crazy over Jimmer Fredette.
I can't believe
I kept it on the channel.
I can't believe that you saw that because I actually, for some odd reason, saw that too. I have no idea why I was watching it. But, like, I thought the same thing. I was like, these guys are literally, like, you can hear the crowds change in their voice when Jimmer jacks up a shot. Like, 2 minutes left, down 20.
Yeah.
Like why? Like there's no other gym in basketball that would have any crowd support whatsoever in that situation.
Yeah, they're all gone.
Well, I'm afraid,
Yeah.
boys, he's released. He's being released.
Oh, I know that. He didn't even get, yeah. Oh yeah.
I just read that they're not
Yeah.
renewing his
Oh,
10-day
dude,
contract.
Kirk Ram-
Way to bring the mood down. God.
Dude, what about the Knicks?
Zimmer, no.
The Knicks are they're pathetic, man. They've lost like 16 of 18. Like
The Knicks are pathetic.
they bring in Fredette and like
I can tell you why you
No,
were watching that game, Todd. It's because you were feeling so damn good after that play. And you're like, I got to get some more basketball in.
I was ready to do the show last night. No, but and like Kirk Rambis had no. They like the fans had to force Jimmer Fredette to be in the game. Like Kurt Rambis was like, this guy's terrible. He can't play for me.
Yeah.
But like the fans wanted to see it, but I don't know. The Knicks are super disappointing, man. I mean, Carmelo, I guess I'm off that bandwagon. I guess you boys are right on that one.
Did you hear about
Melo blows.
Blows, dude. How can you not get your team in the playoffs this year?
so that game, Todd?
See, how is a player of that caliber ever on a team that loses 16 of 18? That's not acceptable.
No, it's horrible. He's
I
shit.
mean-
We've always said he's shit. He's a lazy, fat piece of shit.
So last
Yeah.
night's game.
it.
I've come 180 on my.
He's
on my main Carmelo.
he's sitting on the
wrong.
bench getting heckled, and he turns to the fans and say, "Hey," and he's pointing to James Dolan. He's like, "Go ask the owner for your money back if you don't like the team."
Who said that, Melo?
Melo, as he's getting heckled on the bench. So
Melo should have just turned around and said, I made $700,000 this game. And just turned back around. And be like,
while I was on the bench here
Yeah.
the last 2 minutes, you know. Well,
And that guy sitting right behind Melo would probably be like, "I made 70,000 on Wall Street today."
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
or 7 million.
yeah. So let's see where we're at in 20 years when you're
Yeah.
on the show. Broke.
Carmelo's kind
broke
of set him
too.
out.
He's a businessman.
I saw. He is kind of. I saw an ESPN documentary on him, and he takes care of his money for sure.
That's what he wants you to believe. It's all lies.
Yeah, maybe he's got so much of it though.
Well, I was zooming around the channels last night just because I wanted to get a taste of the recent waiver wire acquisitions. I've
See
seen
my boy Derek Lee or David Lee.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go to. David Lee on the Mavericks. How do you like it, Todd?
I mean, again, back to Charles Barkley. I mean, the Mavericks are one of those teams that have no chance of doing anything in the playoffs. But yes, he makes us significantly better. And that's crazy to say about David freaking Lee. That kind of shows you how bad we are. But he fits Carlisle's system well. And we are getting better, like significantly better. Like Chandler Parsons is only
Looked good last night.
He's only a year out from microfracture surgery in his knee. So that takes a full year. So he has not been himself. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Chandler Parsons. I mean, I'm not a huge fan.
Well, you're gonna have to,
But-
you're gonna have to re-sign him to a max if you want to
Well,
keep him.
Well, and we're gonna have to. He's worth the
Yeah.
max. He is. He's worth the max. I mean, he is. In
I mean, in today's NBA,
in this
yeah.
NBA, I'm not saying.
I'd rather sign Michael Beasley for minimum.
I mean, dude, since the All-Star break, he's averaging 30+ points.
Yeah.
So I mean, in the last 6 games, he's put up. I mean, I saw in Orlando he put up 31. Last night he put up. In 2 nights ago against the Timberwolves, he put up 34 and 3/4. I mean, the dude's balling. I mean,
And he's a rim attacker, and
yeah, he's a nice player, man. He's not flashy. And then Wesley Matthews is still recovering from AC. Those guys are just now starting to get back to being those guys. I'm not saying that
It means anything.
it means anything. I'm just saying we're a better team now than we were in November. And then David Lee's a nice little addition to it. He spaces the floor. He's a nice replacement for Dirk. He's got a very similar game. He's a poor man's Dirk.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
well, he's a good
doesn't
passer.
play- he
He's a
does-
high post
high
passer, and he can shoot a little bit.
And he can't play D.
Yeah.
And he's what we do. What we do are white guys that can't play D.
Yeah,
That's what we do in
I know.
Dallas.
Why is that?
That's
What the hell?
I don't know. It
There's
worked.
one man that can play is Deladova. That's the only white man that can play.
No, he's just annoying.
No, he can play.
Plays D.
He does play D.
Which they need because Kyrie literally might as well just cut his arms off when he plays defense because he has zero defense. I was looking at the stat the other day, and right now, opposing point guards have are scoring more points against Kyrie than any other point guard in the league. That's bad. That's bad for a team that's winning 50. What's already almost at 50 wins. That you're getting owned every single night.
You know what the most telling thing of that stat is the point guard that he's going to have to face in the NBA Finals most likely is arguably the best player in the world.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
That's a problem. Well, that's why you're going to have to play. I mean, you're going to be like, Kyrie, I know you said you were unhappy. You're really going to be unhappy because Delly's starting.
They should just go Nancy.
They're going to have to.
They got to go Nancy Kerrigan on them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
if that shit's true that Kyrie says he's unhappy, he can go to fucking hell.
Did you hear what he said today?
No.
He adamantly denied anything. He
Good.
said
I would think it is.
He said it was horseshit, and he got pissed.
I would too because it's like
you better get pissed, otherwise the locker room's gonna trade on.
Well, regardless,
turn on you as well.
But how could he? That's like saying,
what are you unhappy?
He
you're
just signed number one team in the East. You got a huge 5-year deal. Yeah. You are you're getting still 15 to 20 shots a game, and you're unhappy because you're
playing
making the playoffs,
and he's on a good team, so he doesn't have to be in Cleveland very often.
Correct.
So they're traveling a lot. So he gets out of Cleveland. So that would make you unhappy if you had to stay.
And regardless, you don't have to live
Cleveland.
there.
Right, like football players have to stay there 6 days a week.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like these guys are out of here on jets, you know?
Oh yeah.
Get a little penthouse downtown, you just walk to the stadium, get a ride to the jet on when you got to get out of town.
Like K-Love, he lives in a nice penthouse down in downtown Cleveland.
He doesn't experience Cleveland.
He
no,
rents.
he doesn't.
I hope he
rents.
rents.
He definitely rents.
I hope
There's
he
no
rents.
way. Yeah, but K-Love also comes from Minnesota, so he might have thought, is it like, this is kind of a step sideways.
He's like, it's warm here.
Yeah. It's warm. Damn. I'm going to go stand out by Lake Erie after this with no shirt on.
Well, I want to touch on, before we go to our first break, the players of the month for February haven't been announced yet, but the coaches of the month are. And they were the Trailblazers, Terry Stotts, and Brad Stevens of the Celtics. The Trailblazers, guys.
Well, and the player of the month will be Damian Lillard.
Should be.
Yes.
But the team of the month has got to be Blazers hands down. They got put a loss on Golden State. And frankly, when I'm kind of thinking about the roster, Wes Matthews and LaMarcus Aldridge, how good could they have been? And they could have been in that top tier of San Antonio, Golden State almost.
I agree.
I mean, I can't say
I think we're kind of seeing
squad.
LaMarcus Aldridge is not all he's cracked up to be. He
is.
He hasn't done shit on that team so far. He is honestly
That
just a
team
rebounder. That's it.
That team is undefeated at home.
That team doesn't use him for anything but rebounding.
But he's bought into the system. Like no Spurs player is going to have gaudy numbers. Period.
Why?
Period.
Yeah, but look at
their last 5 years. I guarantee you, none of those guys were ever in the top 10 of
he
any kind of
he
stat.
could easily step up and have numbers. Are you shitting me? For him to and have you seen him shoot? His shooting percentage is way down. He's not playing good ball. He's
I
rebounding.
wouldn't say that.
Yes.
I haven't watched enough Spurs ball, and I know Todd's not a Spurs fan, but
he is not playing at the caliber that he played at.
He's lucky that he's on a team that doesn't need him to play at that caliber.
But to say that he's not a contributor is not.
No,
true.
I'm saying he's a contributor by rebounds.
He's
That's
via
big.
rebounds.
He's a very good player, and
should have signed Verjao.
And
a lot cheaper.
I love how everybody's just penciling in Golden State to the championship.
I know, and this team is
dude. The Spurs. Look at the Spurs record.
Yeah.
The Spurs record.
They're
what is the Spurs record?
They're right behind Golden State. It's not like they're. I mean,
Dude,
they still haven't had double-digit losses
the
yet.
Spurs record. They're 50-9 in their 4 games out.
Yeah. And they're actually looking at the pace of beating that 72-game record. They're only 2 games back from that.
Do you think
So
the average NBA
look
fan
at
has
the plus
any
minus,
idea?
Jerry.
No.
Look at the plus minus for Golden State and San Antonio. If you actually see their point differential, San Antonio actually
is beating people bigger.
Bigger, and that's both teams are scoring at a historical high as far as plus minus. And Spurs are actually ahead by 2
insane.
points with 4 additional losses. So that's the Spurs on any other year. This would be called one of the greatest teams, and they could be possibly going for the 70-12 mark.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, right
they're-
now for sure. If
yeah.
Golden State wasn't in this, you'd be like, "This is a historical year."
Yeah.
Like the Spurs
The chase
are
is on.
unbelievable. It's the chase is on, but it's like we honestly don't. And I think that's going to play into the Spurs' advantage is that once playoffs come.
Oh,
they're
you
gonna
don't think
fucking-
Pop is just like
Oh, he loves it. Are you
salivating
shitting
over
me?
this?
He loves it.
I
He
mean,
has
loves this.
no media around him, and they're
None of
having
it.
an unbelievable season.
Right, and you think LaMarcus Aldridge sucks?
No, I think he's not. No, I think LaMarcus Aldridge though.
You
honestly,
just said it.
Yes, I am saying 2 years ago, LaMarcus Aldridge was way better, playing with way more talent than he is playing today. The only reason why that team is so good is
More
fucking
talent
nothing to do with
or
it.
more effective?
More effective, not more talented.
Yeah.
More effective, but because he is not the reason why they are winning that many games, even a little fucking bit.
I
No, he
disagree.
is not.
I disagree.
Damn it! I
You
wish I
don't
was-
have that record without him there.
Yes, absolutely. You fucking do.
You don't think he-
you get another rebounder in
Easy,
there.
DeMarcus. Like
You get another rebounder in there. Honestly, he's not playing. He's not. All he's doing is rebounding for that fucking team. And if you want to say that
I'm
that's
pulling up a
big,
stat.
This is the guy that wants to
Pulling him
put
up.
Tristan Thompson in the freaking Hall of Fame for rebounding for his team.
no, I would say Tristan Thompson is just as valuable as LaMarcus. Then,
Oh my God.
no, I'm saying if you guys are saying LaMarcus is the reason why they are, then I would say Tristan.
I didn't
Thompson
say
is
he
just-
was the reason, but to say he has no impact on that team.
Not no
is-
impact, but
well,
not the
that's what you
impact.
said.
Not
you said
the
no
impact. He has no impact for them. Like if he wasn't on that team and you had another big man rebounding, they're still going to be as good as they are.
I think you're discounting the talents of LaMarcus Aldridge.
No, I think I've watched him way too many times this year play like shit, and I'm like, I can't stand that.
I'm not
he's-
saying that he is not playing up to the caliber of player that he is, but to say that he is, I mean, he's still an all-star this year. He's still one of the best 20 players in the NBA.
He was an
Yeah.
all-star by default. That was some garbage shit that
Yeah.
Duncan didn't make it, and he made it.
Well, Dirk should have been there
he's
before
the
any of them.
starter. God.
Well, Dirk should have been there before any of them. But yeah, I mean, yes, LaMarcus. Even if you ask LaMarcus, by his own account, he has not played up to par. But to just discount.
Well, that's
him,
what I'm trying to say is that he has not played the talent that I'm used to watching. LaMarcus has not been there this year.
No, I remember. I mean, when LaMarcus came to town, he was like, I loved watching him play against Dirk because he was just a great player to watch. It's not must-watch TV for me for him to see LaMarcus right now.
No.
I mean, I'm not trying to disagree. I mean, I'm disagreeing with you, but I agree with you that he's not playing to the caliber. To the degree is what we disagree on.
all right, we'll agree to kind of
Disagree.
disagree.
We'll all see it in
not
the
totally.
playoffs when matchups
That's
become
my
everything.
Thing. That's
When
my thing. Is like once I think it gets used to. I think no matter what the caliber of player you come into a system that has 15 years of success. That's intimidating.
Sure.
I don't care who you are, and I think it takes a little bit getting used to. And would it shock me? Like San Antonio is 50-9 without getting their best out of their best player. Well, second best player.
Possibly probably would you would think if you were to look at that on paper.
Kawhi
you'd
Leonard's
say-
their best player.
He is right now.
And
Yeah,
LaMarcus
absolutely.
Aldridge should be their second best player. And by the way, what an amazing franchise.
Yeah.
There is no
You
other
just
franchise.
didn't skip a beat.
Dude,
You
they
didn't skip a
went
beat.
they went from Duncan, Parker,
Ginobili.
and Ginobili. While they still have those guys contributing, they added 2 of the top 10 players in the world.
Yeah.
What?
And we'll have
What are you
room.
talking
And we'll
about?
And
have
they're
room,
young. They're both young.
And we'll have room to sign somebody else this offseason.
this offseason.
So, which is wild.
That you're right. That franchise.
That
is,
franchise is the best franchise in sports. They're them and the Patriots.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree to that. And
And the Patriots have Tom Brady.
You know what I
so-
would like to? Who would you rather see in that?
And I hate the Spurs. hate
I hate them too.
with a passion.
I hate him too, but who would you rather? I would because of Golden State's success. Now I want to see them fail. I'd almost rather see San Antonio go to the finals.
Nah, I can't.
I want to see OKC.
I want to see San. Oh, well,
My money
obviously,
says
yeah.
OKC.
Dude, Chandler Parsons is getting healthy. We are making a run.
I'd like to see. I'd like them to see. I'd like to see OKC.
I want to see Golden State, Cleveland again.
See, I want to see Golden State.
Golden
I
State,
wanna see-
Cleveland, and with Cleveland with all their horses.
I want to see Golden
That's
State.
what I wanna see.
I want to see Golden State beat the 72 game mark, and then not make it to the finals. I think that would be fucking amazing because nobody would remember.
You don't want to get revenge on Golden State?
I mean, I
Or
think
do you
honestly we
just
match
not
up a lot better.
Do you not want to
against-
play Irving?
I'd
You
rather
don't
not
want
play.
Irving to play Curry.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
You
I'd
don't
rather-
match up good against the top three, period.
We match up much better against OKC and San Antonio.
I agree.
Are you
Well,
kidding? We
okay,
blew out
San
the last
Antonio
few
is-
times we've faced both. We beat both of them by 20+ points.
I completely agree.
Against
Who
Golden
matches
State,
up with? Nobody matches up with Golden
nobody
State.
matches up with Golden State, and that's something that. And actually, small
I think
ball,
OKC should.
Small
They
ball
kinda
does
do.
not. Yeah, I would think they did too. but
Because
got-
they have the bodies down low and the shooters outside.
So
Well, not- I
OKC
guess-
is their only. Yeah, but I don't know.
I guess they don't have the
see it.
shooters. I mean, Durant's. They're not really known threes, but those guys.
I
They
think-
just have the
Damn good.
size down. I mean, with Steven Adams and Ibaka down low, you can't get boards on them.
My thing is with Oklahoma City, when it comes down to the final 5 minutes, you know who's playing for Cleveland. You know the 5 guys on the court for Cleveland. You know the 5 guys for San Antonio. You know the 5 guys for the Clippers. You know the 5 guys for Golden State. You know the 5 guys on every team that can possibly win a championship. I don't know the 5 guys on Oklahoma City.
I don't either. I know.
I know 2 of them. But that lineup is still not set with 25 games left in the season. That's
Yeah, they needed to get another 3 shooter. Like whatever they were asking for Ryan Anderson, he was worth it. Like
Yeah,
somebody should have pulled him out of New Orleans because
he's playing really.
he's
good,
playing damn good
really
ball.
good basketball. I'm proud of that white guy. Man, he makes us proud, man.
Well, guys,
And by us, he means we're shooters.
Shooters. That's what we're hearing.
well, guys, I think we should. I'm gonna do our little ad spot, and I think we should just keep on rolling. I'm feeling it tonight.
I'm feeling it too.
I'm feeling it tonight. So, guys, thank you for watching the Morning Hardwood. Go ahead. We're coming down to the final 25 games of the season. So we're going to do a good job at providing you a weekly NBA show. I know that we're going to start trying to put out 2 episodes a week. And we're going to do this format every week. And then we're going to do a similar format. It's just we're going to interview guys that are writing for a specific team. So that way you can delve into the information that they have to offer. So hopefully you're going to get a taste of a great interview this week. But, tell your friends, tell your NBA lover friends here in Jacksonville. We have a group of guys that
They're
are really
out there. A
that
couple of them.
love the NBA and love basketball. So we love the sport with a passion, so much so that we made a podcast. So why don't you guys tell your friends, interact with us on Twitter at Morning Hardwood, guys.
I'm showing this to one person.
Yeah.
Zach this morning texted me about this fucking bird, and I got to put it on the screen real quick.
So for you guys watching, you guys listening,
What bird is it?
be sure to go to rcrradio.com, and you're going to want to click on the Amazon banner, and you're going to want to go to Amazon. I'm not telling you guys what to buy, but you should buy whatever you want, because basically a little bit of that money gets kicked back to the 3 of us, and that's
You know what you should get? You should get the limited edition Chuck the Condor Clippers mascot doll.
yes.
Because that lasted about 35 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I woke up this morning, and my cousin sends me a text, Zach. He's like, fuck that stupid Chuck the Condor bullshit. He's like, that thing is the dumbest fucking mascot I
You
know.
know
I was
they
like,
already
whoa,
pulled it.
Whoa.
They already
really?
pulled it.
He's already done.
Really?
He's already done.
Well, that was
So-
for Zach.
So basically, Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, he introduced us, and he's like a real high energy guy.
Yeah.
And so he introduced us in this like high energy press conference. He like bounced off a trampoline and like dunked like the doll into the basket or something like that. And then they announced it, and like the diehard Clippers fans that were there were just like,
No, we don't like that bird.
that thing is
We're used to
terrible.
losing. As
And
soon as
then-
Chris Paul's done, we're going to be back to it.
And then it went out on social media, and within like 20 minutes, it just got annihilated, and and the Clippers pulled it.
Well, guys, those of you who've been watching the Morning Hardwood for the last 2 seasons, you guys,
It's so terrible. Like, how did that? You know how many millionaires that got past? I mean, like,
I know. Oh my
I
god.
kind of like. I feel like that was old Donald Sterling looking on, looking down on them from. He's like, you guys will always be the Clippers.
How funny
Take
is,
this.
Like, the headlines for this says Clippers unveil Chuck the Condor and instantly becomes an unpopular mascot.
that's what happens when you unveil a mascot during the season that's not going as planned.
No, that it made no sense to debut it right then. But guys,
It's terrible.
those of you used to the format, we're gonna do a little 5-court press, and that's
Boy,
where
fuck the Condor. I feel
that's where
bad
my
for him.
biased judging goes into rating Jerry and Todd's responses on 5 issues that I've kind of hopefully will spark great debate.
I don't like
So-
this. I don't like this no break. It doesn't give me a chance to get a drink.
I feel we need. You know what? Should we let them get one?
Go get one. We'll start. We'll keep rolling.
We'll keep the
I'll be
content
quick. I'll
rolling.
be
We'll
quick.
keep the content rolling.
I say we talk about Chuck because I can't believe how bad this bastard got
All right.
destroyed.
So, those of you watching on YouTube, he's going for a drink break. It's me and you now.
Just you and I. Should we do some dirty while he's gone?
And speaking of dirty, you're hiking up your
Speaking of
basketball
dirty,
shirt.
is your damn
Yeah.
game yesterday. If I go under the hoop with you for a second, you give me an elbow in the back.
No,
I go,
no,
yes, you
that
do.
wasn't me. That
you
wasn't
do
me.
every time we're under the hoop. It's like I can guarantee that if you're coming up to get a rebound behind me, I'm getting an elbow, and I'm like, motherfucker, elbows me every time he's under the hoop.
I would. It's.
And
It's
then
oh my
you-
god! It's my prison. It's my prison game mentality.
And then your boy just literally tackles me anytime I'm on a fast break. It was just like a
he
tackle.
did mention something to me today. He's like, "You think Jerry likes me?"
Yeah, I like him. He's a good
I'm
guy.
like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I foul him really hard.
I like.
He's
He,
like,
he
I
plays the
shouldn't-
way he
I
should.
shouldn't foul him a lot. I'm like, he's like, I just took his advice, or took my advice of like, just foul Jerry. He doesn't call shit.
No,
I actually
doesn't call
referenced
shit.
your dick punch.
Did you?
Yes, and I'm gonna reference here on the show. Jerry swiped my manhood, and then there was a debate on.
Well, at first I didn't know what the hell, because at first you were like, you shot this weird ass shot, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And everybody was confused, like, what the hell just went on? And then you're like, you hit my dick, and I was like, wait, what? And I was like, did that shot, was that real? Like, are you still playing? And I was like, what the hell was that? And you're like, you hit my dick. And I was like, when? And you were like, I was like, during your shot? And I was like, you were like jumping through the air with that weird shot. That I had nothing to do with it. Like, no, well, I was running down the court. And it was like, because it was like dick swipe. I was going for a back pocket steal. So I go for that. I dick swipe him. And then he keeps running. And then it was like a delayed, like, and then it was like a fall shot. And it was like, the dick swipe came like 2 or 3 steps earlier, so then it was just everybody was like, "What the hell was that?"
The dick swipe came. The hardwood or the wood got hard, and the shot came up flat. You know, so a lot of things were going on there during that dick swipe.
Todd, you left for a second.
Come back, and the only word I hear is
Todd's
dick
like the
swipe.
adult here. When Todd leaves, we just talk about dicks. So
Yeah. Well, now that he's back, we can start the 5-court press.
let's do it.
So,
My dick's hard. Let's do it.
all right, who should we start with? Todd. It
My
looks
man, 'cause he
like.
scored 18 of your guys'
Yeah.
19 points in your first game. So
All right, so let me go with the first question. A lot has been said about Stephen Curry and what he's doing to the NBA because obviously he hit the downtown shot that was amazing. Todd, should we do anything about the 3-point line?
No, it's fine. It's one guy. It's an admiration. What are you talking about? Moving it back?
I'm talking about should we move it back?
Oh, you can't move it. I mean, there's only like 12 inches in between the 3-point, or 12 or 18 inches in between the 3-point line and the baseline or the side court. I mean, it just is what it is. People are just gonna have to be shooters. Like these next generation, it's just gonna be no defense and a bunch of shooters. And I don't even say no defense, which it is no defense. I mean, I will give the old guys some kind of. There is no defense being played, but I don't know how do you guard somebody that shoots from 38 feet like it's 18? I don't know what you want to do about that. I mean, what are you going to move the 3-point line back to? What is that going to accomplish? I mean, I think it's deep enough. Who cares if the games are 158, 150?
I'll say about the no defense thing. Tim Legler said he and a few analysts were watching games from the 60s after Oscar Robinson's bullshit, and they said they went to almost every single finals, and they watched them for like a week, and they were like, defense was fucking garbage back then. And they're like, how in the hell are you going to say? They're like, there would be like 3 hard defensive plays a game, and other than that, it was shit defense. And then he's like, and then he said the best line ever, and he's like, if Steph Curry was alive, if we could teleport him back into the 60s, he would do these moves people would honestly, the government would take him away and they'd be like, this man, we got to test him for stuff because he's not human being. And they were like, this man, the way he does it, and it's just, unfortunately, Oscar Robinson's not, he's not being cordial in passing the torch of like, okay, this generation, they're faster, they're bigger. Why are they faster and bigger? Because we know how to keep our bodies healthier. We have medications that keep us in the game longer. We recover faster. And then we are overall, the NBA is bigger. We're also bringing people in from Europe where we didn't before. It was all Americans. Now it's Europeans. It's everybody. So we're more talented, honestly, now than we ever were. And it sucks is that the game is for them to say like, oh, you know, like there's no defense being played. It's like, no, it's when the game is getting faster and there's better offense. You're just bashing the defense because you're an old sour man.
Well, and another thing is you say like we brought in Europe and everything, but like going back to Oscar Robinson's day, like we brought in black people. I mean, like black people changed the game.
Yeah, and he didn't have to play. Like, he had to play with like it was like probably a 20 to 9 or 80 ratio.
If you look at
now, it's opposite. Oscar
Robinson played against a bunch of 6'2" white guys.
I know.
Like let's calm down, Oscar. Like I respect you. And you're wonderful, and like I've seen games that I went back and I've seen games that you've played in, and it was awesome to watch. But like, why can't we enjoy what we're watching now?
Yeah,
like Steph is a good dude. He takes care of his family. It seems like
it's about cordially passing that torch, and like, he doesn't want to do it.
Awesome to watch on the court. Like who cares?
And you know what's funny? My uncle,
why can't we respect you, Oscar? And why?
Yeah,
and no less Oscar. Fuck you, Phil Jackson.
I know. Phil Jackson, what the hell was he doing?
Why don't you concentrate on building your team that's won 18 of the last 20 games instead of...
Give them some fucking credit, I mean.
Yeah, well, why don't you, Phil?
Yeah, lost 18 of the last 20.
He lost 18 to 20, and it sounds like sour grapes because he offered Steve Kerr that job, and Steve Curry gave him the Heisman and went out to Golden State.
That's exactly right. And you know, it's funny. My uncle was... I was talking to him about the Oscar Robinson thing, and he said he actually saw Oscar when he was young. He was like, I was young, and I remember... seeing Oscar Robinson, and it was so amazing, actually. He did a behind-the-back pass, and it was like people went bananas. Like he's like the whole stadium erupted like it was the biggest thing. He's like, now it's like you do a behind-the-back pass, that's a normal pass. It's not anything. He's like, it's just the game has changed, and it's for some reason Oscar doesn't see that it doesn't.
Dude, could you imagine if Oscar Robinson pulled up from 38 feet with 6 seconds left on the clock on a tie game in overtime with the timeout?
Yeah.
He would be on the New York Post as the stupidest man alive. Like, what are you doing? And he would have probably bricked the shot.
Yeah,
so
bricked it. He
wouldn't
have hit backboard.
And I respect Oscar. It just sucks that like he makes us kind of shit on like.
Yeah,
but
he
why,
shouldn't have said
dude?
his. He shouldn't have.
But
ever
I thought what
opened his
Phil
mouth.
said was even
stupider. Yeah,
you're an official in the NBA. Like you are a GM of an NBA basketball team.
And a very, very big franchise could be very...
And a guy that just hit in the draft.
Yeah.
Like, to me, in my eyes, like, hit gold in the draft.
Yeah.
He does that. He hits in free agency this year. Like, why don't you just worry about yourself and not worry about the team that's probably the favorite to win the NBA title?
I agree.
All right, so Jerry, how do you feel about the three-point line?
That was a very long answer. I forgot you even asked the question.
He's gonna win hands down. I mean, because I even like his answer was so good, I got passionately into it. But you got to keep it the same. If not, I wouldn't even be able to hit rim.
All right,
dude. Even as is, we're
playing at the high school,
pushing from our hip.
Yeah, are you shitting me? When I have to shoot 3 points, I can't shoot my regular.
Right.
Like at the courts where we play, we shoot from high school 3 points. I can actually raise up and shoot like this. When I shoot an NBA three, I have to shoot it from here. Like there's no way I'd be a. I
made that high school 3-point line my bitch last night.
Yeah, you did.
all right. Well, here's what I'm going to say about the three-point line because there's guys that have discussed this at length, and I know it'll be a big topic of conversation when they go to the Sloan Conference when they talk basketball nerd stuff. But the three-point line to me is going to have to go back at some point. I mean, guys that are watching Steph Curry now are just gonna make it so.
Well, you can't make it back on the sides. That can't happen.
They're gonna have to do something because here's why. Because analytics say that 3 points is the best shot available.
Courtside seats are the most. Sorry. I'm just gonna interrupt you.
But you
can't widen the court because courtside seats are the moneymakers, and
they're gonna eliminate that corner shot.
Stop it.
Here's what's happening. Here's what's happening in today's NBA. Guys like Kevin Love are spending all their time behind the three-point line. And guys, Anthony Davis, for some reason, is trying to formulate a three-point shot, and it's ruining basketball. And you'll see in the next 5 years, everybody and their mother is going to start shooting 3 points. The only way you can curtail this problem is by continuing to move it back.
I don't
because
have a
you
problem
can.
with it.
I have a horrible problem with it because it's bad basketball.
No, I don't
you
have
can't
a problem
tell me
with,
that a
I
big
don't have,
man.
No,
you
I'm
can't-
saying I don't have a
traditional
problem.
4 or 5 needs to be back there shooting threes. We need to make it so the 3-point line is that much harder, and you need it to have to where the game goes back inside, because the movement of the league is to move to everybody. Let's jack up as many threes as we can. That's going to be horrible basketball to watch as we go into the future. And so you keep the line where it is. Everybody can practice it. You move it back 2 or 3 feet. You've just eliminated the need for a big guy to even try his hand at that. So my point
It's
being
just gonna be
is,
an odd looking.
oh, it'll look like
it's
shit.
not going to be an arc anymore. It's going to be like a.
But you talk about no defense. You move back that line 3 or 4 feet. That now has opened the court wide open because
But
anybody
I don't
that
know
is,
if opening the court wide open is a bad thing though,
It's not a bad thing.
because that involved opening up the court enhances cutting and slicing and in the pocket in the paint passing, which
Yeah.
is good basketball.
Yeah, I feel like
Fun basketball to watch.
I don't have any stats to back this up, but I feel like 3-second calls have got to be at an all-time low. I would think. I would
nobody
think.
calls them
I'm
at
not
all
I'm not
anymore.
sure.
If you watch somebody, there's at least like pretty much one per play that's a 3-second violation. That could be called as a 3-second violation.
All right.
I heard a stat that Steph Curry hit more 3-pointers this weekend, 10 against Orlando on Friday night and 12 against or on Thursday night and 12 against the Thunder on Saturday night. So 22 total. He hit more 3-pointers than the 88 Lakers and the 88 Hawks
For the season, right?
for the season.
That's unbelievable.
Isn't it?
And that was good basketball to watch, as far as as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna give that one a tie because I'm really
What
curious.
was the question?
All right, it was about the 3-point line, but this question I'm gonna send to Jerry.
That was the
Jerry's
first
way.
question?
I'm gonna send I'm gonna send this question
It's gonna be a long
Jerry's
show,
way.
boys.
Yeah.
You guys have both spoken adamantly about your hate about Oscar Robinson. Now it's time to turn it around. Jerry, give me your best Johnny Cochran and defend the man, Oscar Robinson.
Defend him.
I want you to give me your biggest defense into what he had to say. And it obviously it might not be your feelings, but give me some validity to what he said. And give the people, the Oscar fans out there that are listening.
Okay. Bill Russell was around in that era. Wilt
God
Cham-
damn it!
Wilt
Get to the
Chamberlain.
courtroom. Are you
Wilt
at the
Chamberlain.
courtroom?
That guy was also a big black guy. We remember him. So those. If you had to play against those two guys, you would never be able to jack up shots like that, Steph. We'd be all in that pocket.
I'll take a little different angle in defending my man Oscar.
Fuck Oscar. I'm not defending him. Yeah, I'll defend him in a different way. I couldn't see the TV. I have no idea what happened in that game. I shit my pants a little bit beforehand, and I was pissed. So I said some bad shit about it.
So defending Oscar is like, like we're all in our early 30s, right? I think, right? I don't know. Are you in your 30s yet?
No.
Whatever.
But I
Late,
will be
late 20s,
shortly.
early 30s, whatever. And we all think everybody in college and high school are a bunch of dipshits and morons, right?
It's true.
Well, 10 years ago, we were all dipshits and morons, but we thought the people in the 30s were dipshits and morons. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, I guess every generation kind of has that
Hates on each
little
other.
like,
Sure.
they're like, oh, my generation was way smarter and this generation is a bunch of full of lazy morons. I think everybody has that. I think it happens to even, like, I mean, we're in our early 30s, and I think we even are starting to kind of feel that way. It's probably going to feel way worse when we're 60. So he probably,
You're right. It's the walking up.
I rest my
up-
case.
Walking up the hill in snow both ways to school complex. Like it was always harder back when I was young. And we'll say the same shit. When we were young, we had cell phones that didn't have a touch screen on it at one
I couldn't
point.
just look at porn when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I couldn't just look at porn on my phone. It's
Yeah.
probably gonna be like a hologram on your hand.
Yeah,
that you
no
can,
shit.
Like, look
People
at.
are gonna be like, "What? What's a phone?"
Well, it's funny that you mentioned porn because
Touch your hand and it like feels like real pussy. Like, oh, you didn't have that when you were a kid?
cell phones kept getting smaller and smaller until you could get porn on them. Then the screens got larger and larger and larger.
That is very ironic.
Might have a 72-inch cell phone when it's all said and done.
They would just
Like
carry cell
flip
phones on their
sound.
back like
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My cell phone's ringing. You're like, you're like, what are you watching on your cell phone over there? You're like, nothing, dude. Why? I was watching this really funny Family Guy actually last night, and on the Family Guy, he's going, "Sweet, yeah, all right." And Lois goes, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's got, "I got this new bowling app. It's really fun." "All right, looks good." And he goes, "Strike," and she goes, Your phone is tied up to the computer or to the TV, and I see you're watching porn." And he goes, "Well, I'm gonna finish regardless. Go stand there."
Well, good thing you guys aren't Oscar's lawyer because you would have got the man killed.
I don't know. I thought I put up a good fight.
You put it, yeah. I'm gonna give that one to Todd just for effort.
I didn't give an effort.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Speaking of Johnny Cochran, I did not see The People vs. OJ last night. I got that on DVR right
Nice.
after the show. Go and watch. You're watching The People vs. OJ, right?
I'm gonna wait till they're all out and then binge it.
It's,
I do
it's
like
a good
that. I
idea.
do like
Yeah,
That's a good
I've
idea.
just
I'm not gonna lie, I do that a lot.
I've become a binge guy. It's
I
just-
do binge, but like I can't help myself with OJ's. I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday. Fucking OJ's coming out tonight. I'm like, I wonder what happens in this episode. I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Well, the guys that have watched it all, I listened to a lot of podcasts. They said the ending to the series is like gonna put that thing on
Oh yeah.
notice for like being one of the best series ever. So
Are you watching it? Are you caught up?
Well, I was gonna do the same. I was gonna binge.
It's amazing.
I like binge watching.
You
shows
don't
the same
even
day.
really need to binge watch it because like that hour is intense enough.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't ever watch it on Tuesday nights because like that is one terrible show to watch with commercials.
Sure.
You just get fucking like violently mad when the commercials come on. You're just like, why are you going to commercial? Johnny Cochran's yelling at OJ, and this is awesome. And, and then it's like, if you got Viagra, then like I don't want to hear about Viagra.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I've gotten trapped. I
See
love
you,
X
youngster.
Files.
One day you'll be like, "Thank God that."
I
Viagra
love X Files, and I've been watching that on demand, and they still throw the commercials in, and it's
Yeah,
really
you can't fast forward either.
it really
That's
So
why you
it's
got to
bro-
DVR everything.
Yeah.
I DVR
Broadcast
almost
TV
anything.
is garbage. That's
it
what-
is.
I honestly watch most NBA
Dude, they
games about an
cuss-
hour
they-
after
they-
they start just to get rid of
They
commercials.
cuss on the FX.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
there's
I think they
tits,
say
there's
everything
tits
but
shown.
fuck is the only thing they don't say. They say
Yeah.
shit, bitch, tits,
Yeah.
anything.
Oh.
Yeah, no, they'll show tits because I remember the
You
Shield
watched
had
The
a couple.
Americans? No.
Not yet. I heard it's a good
I
show.
heard it was good.
We need to get back into what we do watch, which is
Oh, yeah.
NBA.
Yeah. Speaking of all the NBA we don't watch, how did you like Fuller House? No. All right, let's go to the third question. This one's to you, Todd. There's a lot of teams in the bubble. There's a lot of teams that are going to make it in the playoffs that maybe shouldn't have. There's a lot of teams that I think are on the downswing. Teams like the Rockets, obviously.
Rock's just got Michael Beasley, easy.
Well, they just waived Ty Lawson, so that project is done.
They waived him.
Yes. So, but like basically what I'm saying is look at your kind of standing, or just think in your head about the teams.
The Spurs signed Ty Lawson, didn't they? Did they not?
I hope not.
They signed Andre Miller, so not quite. Somebody's going to sign him. Somebody's going to get him. I'm sure he's just looking at which teams to go to. But basically, what I'm saying, Todd, which
Look at what city has the best bars.
all right. So even Chicago's out of the playoff picture right now. Which team benefits the most by putting themselves into the lottery and kind of punting on the postseason? So
I think it has to go to an Eastern Conference team because I think even if you make the playoffs in the West, you know who's winning every first round matchup. As far as teams that just want to go on to the next season, in the East, you got Detroit. I think Detroit could benefit from playoff experience. I mean, Indiana's got Monte Ellis. I don't know. Does any team really benefit from not making the playoffs? I don't know. It's not like, yeah.
So you're saying for a higher draft pick, who's going to
For a higher draft pick or just a reset on who they are?
I'm gonna say.
So I've got a team in mind,
I'm
but I'll
just gonna
let
say-
you guys answer first.
I'm gonna say it's a terrible question. That's what I'm gonna say.
All right, well, let's move on to Jerry.
Nobody benefits from missing the playoffs.
All right, let's move on to Jerry.
Well, you know what? Actually, I was listening to this thing yesterday about kind of teams that don't make the playoffs. It's you're kind of stuck in this horrible wheel of like you'll never get better because you're then getting a very low lottery percentage,
Right.
and then you're not getting if you're not getting a
It's
top
not like
five
the
pick,
question
to be honest,
was.
in the NBA.
It's not like the question was, would you rather make the playoffs or have the number 1 pick?
Yeah.
It's would you rather not have make the playoffs than have the 14th pick?
Yeah, and that's where it could potentially be, and that's what sucks is that a lot of these teams that are just on the
13th.
cusp of
Excuse me, there's 13 in the lottery, right?
14.
14? I should not have corrected myself.
Yeah, you had.
I should have acted like I knew what I was talking about.
But so you're one of these teams that still gets the 14th pick. You didn't make the playoffs, but you weren't that bad. But that now you're not getting a good draft pick because usually in the NBA you're not going to find anybody in the top 5 that's
No, unless you're the Spurs.
unless you're the Spurs.
Yeah.
And you pick up Kawhi Leonard.
All right, well, here's where I was going with this, and I was hoping maybe you guys would stumble onto what I was visioning when I came up with the question. A team like the Washington Wizards, I think, needs to miss the playoffs. And the reason they need to miss the playoffs is because they need to go ahead and get rid of Randy Whitman. Whereas, like, if they were to sneak in the playoffs, I think it would be kind of a let's keep this thing together and see what we got. And I know that team's been hit with injury. And another team on the bubble is like the Chicago Bulls. I think it's time for you guys to miss the playoffs just so you guys can blow up the whole thing and start over, with Jimmy Butler as your main piece.
I mean, but is sneaking in the 8th seed in the East going to keep your job?
I think because
I disagree.
Hell no, you could be
I
the first.
disagree.
Look at old David Blatt.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I just
he's
I
the
don't-
exception.
I
But-
think the brass for the Washington Wizards, the Orlando Magic, the Chicago Bulls, the current 8, 9, 10 seeds. I don't think their off-season acquisitions or moves predicates anything on whether they get swept in the first round or miss the playoffs.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna mold the other three questions into one. Because I can tell, like, these have been. I think I'm going to agree with Todd. The question choices are the last 2 questions
Wait, I
in
didn't
one.
even get to answer that question.
It doesn't matter.
We
Jeremy.
both said it was a garbage question.
Yes. So I'm going to mold the
I
last
think
2
the
into
Washington
one.
Wizards they're actually playing pretty hot right now.
Yeah,
They
you got
could be-
John Wall. I would like to see John Wall in the playoffs.
I think,
wouldn't
and I mean, actually, Gortat's playing his ass off lately.
you? Yeah.
I'd like to.
But it doesn't matter. The team's getting swept by
Anybody.
I mean, the Cavs, the Magic, I think the Pistons could give. I mean, the Pistons are okay. I mean, they're above 500.
I'm excited.
All
to
right,
see
you guys hated
regardless.
the question.
I'm
You
excited
guys
to
hated
see
the question,
the playoffs
so-
regardless because you get to see as long as you're. I mean, they're gonna be good games as long as it's not Cleveland playing them.
Oh, it's gonna be Cleveland playing.
No, but I'm
Pacers.
saying like at least the first few rounds, you're gonna see good games, and you're gonna
Yeah.
see some young men who are gonna have to step up.
I
and
mean,
you're gonna have
like
to see
if
different
Toronto
things.
somehow got the 1 seed and Detroit got the 8 seed, would you be shocked that Detroit beat Toronto?
Not at all.
I would be.
Detroit
I would love it.
basketball.
All right, let's get to the final question. I'm gonna get into a 4-corner press. Golden State has 16 home games remaining. San Antonio has 13 home games remaining.
Turn off your phone, Hollywood.
Which team is most likely to go undefeated at home? Because like both are on a historical pace. But if you were to have to put your money on one, which out of these two are going to make it
Golden State.
are gonna go undefeated for the
at
rest
home?
of
At home,
I would say
they both have a chance. Now San Antonio's got a 3-game head start.
San Antonio. I'd say.
I would say Golden State's got a better chance.
Why? The only reason I say San Antonio is just because right now the media is going to surround any halfway decent team that's going into Golden State, whereas right now San Antonio for some reason nobody gives a shit that they're
only 15-9.
Yeah,
you should have paid attention.
Exactly. No one cares that they're
and their second best player is not playing very good.
Yeah.
But don't worry about that. They're a terrible.
The second best player right now is a detriment in offense, and once he starts, though,
they're a terrible basketball team.
They're really
you should not bother. You should not worry about them.
All right, we all win on the morning Hardwood, and the viewers, I think, are winning the most. Guys on YouTube are going to miss this part because it looks like the camera's already dead. But those of you listening on rcrradio.com, we want to thank you guys the most.
How long has that been?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, half a show.
But those of you
who watches this on YouTube?
Actually, we do.
anyways?
We get like 25.
Yes,
watches
we get a
every
good
day.
amount of views. I'll be able to put the audio in this, so it's just going to be a picture of Todd's face
I just
on
Yes,
this back end of the
please
YouTube.
do.
I'm just
I'll probably get a lot of visitors.
Well, we know it went to as far as when I went up there to show it to Zach. So
Yeah.
it's been.
Well,
it's
the
been
battery
a-
dies after an hour, and so I think we're over an hour now.
We're over an hour.
God bless.
So, guys, thank you for listening to the Morning Hardwood. For Jerry, for Todd, I'm Britt. See you next week.